Hey everybody, it's Missy again, and today's layout is for the product swap that we have going on now between A Flair for Buttons and the Cut Shop. And I'm going to be combining this beautiful butterfly cut file called I'll Fly Away with this beautiful spring set of Flair from A Flair for Buttons. And I decided to do something a little bit different here today. I felt like getting artsy, so I took some yellow cardstock, used some white gesso on top of it, let it dry, and then I decided to use my sketch pen instead of actually cutting the butterflies. So when you use the sketch pen instead of your blade, it will draw out the design. And so I just simply traced and drew the butterflies. And now that it's all dry, the gesso is already there, I'm going to use some of my Shimmers watercolor and my water brush here, and I'm just going to color. I'm going to combine a couple different colors. I wanted this to be bright and fresh and springy. Lots of fun colors, and I'm going to be using some bits and pieces from the new Dear Lizzy collection, and so it's full of bright spring colors. And so that's what I'm doing here. I just want to color in these butterflies, and it does take me a while, so I don't film the entire process, but I like to blend. So I'm just using a really pretty pinkish purpley color here, and I'm going to use it on some of the butterfly, and then I'm going to come back in with a different color and do some blending. And this was just really fun. Sometimes I like to do a layout that just takes a while and it's got mindless things going on, like this painting. It really didn't take a lot of thought. It just took time to do it, and it's fun. I really enjoyed just coloring. I always say this, therapeutic. It's the same thing when you're backing a busy cut file and it takes you a while to cut and glue and paste. It's just fun to kind of take the time and do something like that. And so that's what I'm doing here. And the water brush makes it really easy to color in those little bits, the ends and the antenna on the butterfly, because it's very small and pointy, and you can get inside those little corners there. And you can see now how the colors are kind of blending, and I really like how it turned out. And some of the color comes outside the lines, but I'm okay with that because, you know, watercolor is never perfect, and I think it makes it look even better when, you know, it's not perfect. So, you know, because there's a lot of water involved, and so it's going to run and it's going to drip, and I think that that makes it even more beautiful. And with the Shimmers products that I'm using here, I've got a combination of creamies and inklings and the aqua hues. So I've continued on, I added in some greens and some teals, and you can see the variation in color there. I've got some shimmery products, some that are just flat color, and it didn't really matter to me at this point about the shimmer effect. I just wanted the color, and so that's what I based my choices on for the products, was just the color. And these are all from Shimmers. So I just keep playing around, and I think the key to making this work was the gesso beforehand. I didn't add that much. You can kind of see the white edges. I did that first, and then I made sure that it was really dry, and then it went through my Cameo perfectly. And so there I've got them all done. You can see some of them have shimmer, some of them are sparkly, and some of them aren't. I love how that turned out. I think it's so pretty, and I don't even want to cover it up. But, you know, that's the nature of scrapbooking, is there's other things that have to go on the page. So I'm going to use a black and white picture because I've got a ton of color going on here, and there was no way I was going to find the perfect photo that was in color that wouldn't compete with all of that background color. And so the black and white just takes the guessing work out of your color scheme, and you can do anything with the black and white picture. And plus it makes the black and white pop, and then I think the black and white picture helps all the other colors to pop, and so they just kind of go together well. Now sometimes you can find a color photo that goes with what you're doing. It just depends. I don't know. I'm pretty picky when it comes to my colors matching the photo. So when in doubt, just go with the black and white one. Now this is from the Happy Place 6x6 paper pad, and I just cut out a few pieces that I'm going to use for layers, and I just want little bits and pieces of each of those papers to show. You know, I've got some pink, light pink, dark pink, the stripes, the teal, the green, and I'm just trying to pull all of those background butterfly colors into the papers. And those papers, the paper colors are what I based the butterfly colors on, so I knew that they would coordinate. I'm going to add a little bit of tangled thread in yellow. I wanted it to be subtle. I didn't want it to stand out to where it's, you know, going to cover up. I didn't want to cover up a lot of the butterflies, and so just use a little bit of thread there, and it just sort of blends in, but it does add some texture. Now here's where I struggled. I really wanted to use some of these die cuts that come in the Dear Lizzy collection, but they're so colorful. They blended in with the background. So I squashed that for now, and I decided to just worry about the title later. And I'm going through and trying to find some things on the cut apart sheet that I can use. And I cut this circle out that says it's a beautiful day to start. And I like how it looks, but I wind up not using it. And I was trying to find things to use because the background, you know, it's busy and it's so bright. But in order for me to have one of those bright words as a title, I'm going to have to cover up some of that background. And I try not to cover up too much of it, but you'll see what happens. I'm talking ahead of myself here. I add another pretty pink layer, and that's from the Amy Tan collection. I think it's her newest one. Better Together. Yes, Better Together. And I kind of struggled a little bit trying to figure out what to add to this. I know I keep repeating myself, but the background was so pretty, I didn't want to cover a lot of it up. And so I thought, what am I going to do now? So I thought, okay, let's bring in a little bit of blue, and I'm just going to add that little section to the left, just like that, and it's going to give me a solid base to work with. And there's still lots of butterflies showing, so I'm not going to cover up any more of those. But in order for that Happy Thoughts bright yellow piece to be seen, I needed to have a solid base behind it, and so that's where that blue paper comes in. And now you can actually read it, because if you were to put it right on top of those butterflies, it would blend right in and it would be pointless. And so I decided to go for it. I stitch it down, and I just had to cover something up in order to do that. And that's okay, because you can still see a lot of the butterflies that are left. I literally almost just wanted to frame that 12 by 12 yellow cardstock as is on my wall because of those butterflies. They're just so pretty. And the good thing about it is it's a cut file. You can use it as many times as you want, and you can create as many different looks as you want. And so I could do this again if I wanted to and just not cover anything up. But for the sake of this layout, I added that blue piece in. And now you can see the title, because nothing bugs me more is when something blends in and you can't read it or you can't see it. So you can see it. So now I'm just playing around. I took out that beautiful day to start circle, and I'm going to go with this little camera. I just think it's cute, and it's still kind of solid. It's not too busy that it takes away from the background. And I never want to create something that takes away from the picture, because, you know, my idea is that the whole point of this is to showcase this picture. And so all of the other things around it help to showcase the picture. And so I never want to make something that's so busy you can't see the picture. And I probably have done that over time. You just get carried away sometimes, and you keep adding and you keep changing. And, you know, it's all fun and games at the end of the day. If you're having fun, you like how it turned out, it's your layout. You know, you go with what you love and what you have fun creating. And so that's what I did here. I did add some pink thread just to add a little more pop of pink behind that die cut. And now I'm going to come in with just some details. This is some washi tape that I found a couple years ago at the Dollar Tree. And it doesn't stick very well because it came from the Dollar Tree. But I couldn't resist the stripes. I thought the blue was really pretty, and it actually coordinates with a lot of things that I've used. So yeah, I still use it. You just need to glue it down a little bit more. So these are the flare from A Flare for Buttons, and I'm going to add that gorgeous butterfly one. For now, it's going to go right in the center of that camera because it just fits perfectly right there. Bits and pieces from the sticker sheet. And yeah, that's the Dear Lizzy sticker sheet. Oh, hello, head. Sorry about that. Hair appointment tomorrow. Yay. I'd already stuck that sticker down, and I wish I wouldn't have. Couldn't pull it up, so I just go with it. And sorry my lighting changed. Changed my idea about the camera. I did a lot of mind changing here. I go with the documentary Dear Lizzie. I pulled that out and realized that a lot of things on this sticker sheet coordinated. So I pulled out that really pretty floral sticker. I'm going to use that instead of the camera. And now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like the camera, but I also like this floral sticker. So I just kind of changed my mind on the spur of the moment and went with it. So I moved the butterfly flare over to the right. And this is a different day. I know my lighting has changed here. My lighting changes depending on the time of day and where the sun is coming in through my window. So I noticed that. I hope that's not too crazy of a change there. And I like the fact that there are gray leaves in that sticker, the floral sticker. And so I pulled a couple of other leaves over to the right where the butterfly flare is going to go. And it coordinates because the picture has a lot of dark gray in it. Now these are some washi tapes I found at Michael's a couple weeks ago. They have some new line. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was all 40% off. And it was like this watercolor pack of washi tape with words on it. And it was so pretty. I'm like, 40% off. I have to have that. And so, yeah, just thought I'd add a couple of strips of those in. It says sunshine, happiness. And I did use a puffy sticker from the Dear Lizzie documentary collection there. And I'm going to use 3 of the flare. I'm going to use the butterfly one on the right, the one up top above the title that says spring, and then the one below the title that says love. And I'm going to add some thread behind it. And of course, I have to fuss and fight with it to get it just like I like it, because sometimes it just does not want to loop around like I like it. And I sped this up even faster. That's like speed threading. Wow. It's getting close to being finished. There's my final layout. I did add a couple of dark gray ink splatters, but there's the final page. I really like how it turned out, even though I did get frustrated trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. I know I did a lot of mind changing, but that's just the way it goes. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you check out the product swap. Check out A Flair for Buttons. Check out the Cut Shop. Tons of cute products in both shops. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.